And now we go back to Netflix and Friends, and we are going to talk Sukiyaki Western Django.
Sukiyaki Western Django, yes.
Sukiyaki
Yeah.
Western Django. Now,
Sukiyaki Western Django.
this sounds like such a melange, if I could use that word. Such a
Well,
melange of influences of samurai films that influence westerns, that influence spaghetti westerns, that have now gone back to influence samurai films. And tell me about this wonderful, wonderful, seemingly mess of
so
ideas.
yeah,
What
so
on
basically,
earth
yeah,
is
yeah, you
this?
nailed it. Really, it starts off. Quentin Tarantino's actually in this, which was quite a surprise at the beginning, and yeah, he's actually makes an appearance, and he's not that best of an actor, really, bless him.
No, he isn't. Is he playing the same character he played in Django Unchained?
No, no, no. He's more of a he's not no because he was Australian and that was South
He was,
African.
he was, he was, yeah, he was Australian, yeah.
Yeah, but in
I
no in
didn't think
this
you could play more than one
he's a bit like
character.
what can we say? He's a bit like yeah, a bit like Rango and that cartoon one, Rango.
Yes, 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 with Johnny Depp, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, so he plays that. He's not in it a lot, but he comes in like the beginning and the end. So basically, this is starts off like a fistful of dollars. This lone gunfighter comes into town. You've got these two gangs. You've got the whites and the reds, and they're all like. There's a love. It's shot really nice because they sort of all come out and go, "Oh, come work with us." He goes, "No, you come work with us." So that's obviously from a fistful of dollars.
And your Jimbo.
And Yojimbo. Yep, sorry, I do beg your pardon. And Yojimbo. So, and then there's like this subplot where this girl's been sort of put into servitude and all that, but she's quite a good fighter and all that. Where the Django bit comes in, I think, because I don't know if you ever seen the original Django movie,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah, Franco Nero. The
yeah, you've
coffin,
got
the
like
coffin with the
loads of
Gatling gun.
Gatling gun, which is up there. There's a coffin, so there's a coffin involved. There's Gatling gun. There's so yeah, and some of them have got knives and swords and that, and you got you you got the scaredy ones that are like oh no no, and the ones that you've got like in each gang you've obviously got the best of the best. You know what I mean? They're all very much and so yeah, this is basically. Lots of spaghetti westerns all melded into one. As I say, you've got fistful of dollars. You've even got a few dollars more where like someone on their horse, they pull down I mean, there's in a few dollars more. Lee Van Cleef, he's like Colonel Mortimer. He pulls down all these guns that come down. There's that bit in there,
Oh
and as I
yeah,
said, you can see the machine gun, or the Gatling gun. I mean, a bit
on
like
the
Predator,
poster.
really.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah,
can.
yeah.
Nobody could hold that. I mean, in the original Django, it's a machine gun. So yeah, so it's packed full of action, and it's quite exciting. There's some nice set action pieces. You see swords and you see guns, but I did find that the I suppose the film is you can't really believe it, but some of the stuff like would you know my beef with like when things happen and the person should die or get killed or get hurt or
Yes,
couldn't get hurt and
yes,
couldn't get up again. There
yes.
seems to be a lot of that, whereas someone takes so much punishment, that they'd be incapacitated or dead, and then they manage to, somehow miraculously
Yeah.
get all their energy back. But that's just, I guess that's cinema. There's things you've got to expect on that. So, but it's it's a bit because it's so you've got so many gangs and so much going on. It does become a bit the action does become a bit samey and a bit chaotic, and you're not really sure what who's killing who and what's going on, and so yeah,
Yeah,
but.
yeah. Well, the thing is that some of the things you're saying, because I haven't watched that many
Spaghetti.
Japanese films,
Right.
especially from because this is 2007, especially from that era. But some of the things you said, that the kind of things that I would have expected in like maybe like a Shaw Brothers movie
Mm.
from out of Hong Kong in like the early 80s or something like that. I would just be like, yeah, that's just the hallmark of that kind of genre of cinema.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe they had a little bit of that thrown in there because this does seem to be just like a total melting pot of influences.
It is. It is everything. Yeah, you've got super sharp shooters that could shoot ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shoot arrows out the air and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, but then it is very very theatrical, which Japanese cinema is. Um, so
I was going to say that because I know that they had that in Chinese cinema. I was wondering whether that translates to Japanese cinema as well.
yeah, yeah. So on the whole, it was for me for coming down to the whole thing. Although I really liked the elements of all the different spaghetti westerns, which was and it covered many many spaghetti westerns, including the original Django and the Dollars trilogy, and there was a lot to do with some other stuff, but just I don't know, it just didn't quite get. I think maybe I was excited because when I saw
Yeah,
it, I thought, whoa, this is going to be right up my alley. This is going to
this
be
is
right
gonna
up
be
my alley.
amazing. This is gonna be
Yeah, everything.
great.
Western, samurai, what else? Chaos, chaos reigns supreme. But I don't know. There was something, Toes. There was something that didn't quite. I don't know. I didn't quite get that enjoyment. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. So I'm not saying it's bad, but it wasn't as
Yeah, yeah. It
good.
was. It wasn't
Hmm.
as wasn't as right in the bullseye as you were hoping.
Yeah, yeah, it
And
wasn't.
I just realized that it's directed by Takeshi Miike, and
Yeah,
that makes me think that absolutely everything and every single reference you got is 100% intentional.
yes, yes,
because
yeah, yeah.
because he is like the oh, what's the word? He's like the maverick of Japanese cinema.
Average
Like,
Japanese
yeah,
cinema.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. All right, good.
So, so
So
yeah,
yeah,
so I'd probably give this just a bog standard three. I think I would have liked it to have more than, but it just wasn't. Although the action was there and although there was a nostalgia with all the things, it just wasn't quite, didn't have that grab me.
yeah.
So I think it's just probably going to be a three for this one. It's not going to be like, I think I would have liked it to have been more, but if I'm honest with myself, it'll have to be a three.
Hey, hey, for that title alone, I'm just happy this film exists.